Good morning, and welcome to the Deep Dive, your essential daily briefing. Today is Thursday, August 28th, 2025, and wow, it's been a really bustling 24 hours. We've got economic twists, market moves, a bit of global intrigue. It's all here on Blip Brief, small, but almost everything updated daily. Our mission, like always, is to help you navigate these complex currents. We want to pull out the most important insights, the why behind those headlines, especially for you, our listener. Just a quick heads up, Indian stock markets were closed yesterday, Wednesday, so we'll be looking at Tuesday's close and the global cues for today.
Indeed. The past day has certainly shown some significant shifts. We're seeing things move at the intersection of trade, tech, and even some groundbreaking science. It's quite a lot to process, definitely. But yeah, we're here to connect those dots for you, help you understand the implications, how it all kind of ties together in this, fast-moving world. Adaptability seems key.
Okay, great. Let's dive right in then. Let's unpack this big one.
Yeah.
The 50% U.S. tariffs on Indian goods. They officially kicked in yesterday. That's casting a pretty long shadow, isn't it?
Yeah.
What does this actually mean for India's competitive edge beyond just the immediate hit?
It's a critical development, absolutely. And what's really interesting, I think, is the U.S. explanation. They mention India buying Russian oil, sure, but also this undisclosed factor.
Undisclosed factor. That sounds intriguing. What could that be pointing towards?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? It really makes you wonder about the broader strategic game here. Could it be IP issues, trade practices, maybe a subtle nudge on foreign policy alignment? Whatever it is, it directly hits key sectors. You've got textiles, auto components, basmati rice, gems, shrimp.
Right.
And for auto parts, for instance, half of India's exports to the U.S. are now facing this. That's substantial.
Half. Wow.
Yeah. Now, the finance ministry is saying the immediate impact might be limited. But crucially, they're warning about potential lagged effects, things that might bite later on.
Okay, so a delayed reaction perhaps.
Exactly. So if you're in business or just tracking India's growth, this is a really critical pivot point. Could reshape things.
Definitely sounds like more than just a standard trade spat.
Yeah.
So, India's response. What are the real options here? Is it just about weathering the storm? Or is there an opportunity?
Well, this is where India's sort of resilience and strategic thinking come into play. The government isn't just sitting back. They're pushing hard for diversification. We're seeing dedicated outreach programs, I think in something like 40 countries just for textiles alone.
40 countries. That's ambitious.
It is trying to open new markets, reduce that reliance on the U.S. And there's also this push for larger Indian companies to kind of absorb the tariff shock, to protect the smaller players, the MSMEs, who are often most vulnerable.
Right, shield the smaller businesses.
Exactly. And the RBI, the Reserve Bank, is stepping in too. They're holding consultations next month with industry folks.
Okay, to get a feel for the real impact on the ground.
Precisely. Get that granular assessment. And, this proactive stance, it actually lines up with some quite optimistic long-term forecasts. There's an EY report projecting India could still hit USD 20.7 trillion in purchasing power parity by 2030.
Wow, despite the tariffs.
Despite the tariffs, and potentially become the second largest economy by 2038 with a GDP around USD 34.2 trillion. So it's not just about taking the hit, it's about strategically repositioning, leveraging that huge domestic market and finding new partners.
That's certainly a hopeful long-term view, but are there dissenting voices, sectors maybe painting a more cautious picture about those lagged effects? Or is the consensus generally leaning towards resilience?
That's a fair point. While the long-term picture looks robust, you absolutely have to acknowledge the short to medium-term challenges. They're real. The finance ministry's own caution about lagged effects tells you that. The full impact won't be instant. Sectors heavily reliant on exports, especially the smaller firms within them, they'll likely feel the pinch more acutely, at least initially.
Before diversification kicks in fully.
Right. Those RBI consultations in September will be key. We'll probably hear more nuanced perspectives then, concerns about potential headwinds. So yeah, macro resilience, but micro adjustments needed for sure.
Got it. An important distinction. Okay, let's shift focus to the markets now. Remembering, of course, Indian markets are closed yesterday. So we're looking at Tuesday's close and today's global cues. The gift Nifty is pointing lower this morning. Suggests a cautious open, perhaps. On Tuesday, the Nifty 50 closed down 1.0% at 247.12.1. Sensex also dropped 1.0% to 807.86.5. What picture do these numbers and maybe recent corporate news paint for us today?
Well, Tuesday was, as you said, a bit of a mixed bag. Interestingly, the FMCG sector, fast-moving consumer goods, did well. Nifty FMCG was up nearly 1%, BSE FMCG up 0.6%.
So domestic demand holding up.
Seems like it. Companies like Eicher Motors, Hindustan Unilever, Maruti Suzuki, they were among the top gainers. It suggests investors still have confidence in consumer staples, domestic consumption stories. On the flip side, Shriram Finance took a hit, down over 4%, and Sun Pharma was down over 3%. So some specific pressures there. But I think the real story shaping today comes from the corporate news flow over the last 24 hours. That gives us a clearer picture.
Okay, what's been happening there?
Well, globally, the AI chip race is really heating up. NVIDIA, the big leader, is actually seeing its sales growth slow down a bit. That caused its stock to dip. And get this, options traders are pricing in a potential $260 billion swing in its market cap after earnings. Huge number.
260 billion. Wow, massive volatility expected.
Absolutely. And it signals this bigger shift, right? Especially as China's chip makers are pushing like mad to triple their AI chip capacity by 2026. Huawei's reportedly planning its own AI chip production by year end. It's all about reducing dependence on NVIDIA.
That tech decoupling narrative really playing out.
It really is. And sticking with tech giants, look at ByteDance, TikTok's parent. They're doing a new employee share buyback, valuing the company at over $330 billion.
330 billion. Still private, right?
Still private. Fueled by a huge 25% jump in Q2 sales year over year, hitting $48 billion. Incredible confidence despite all the regulatory noise.
Amazing numbers. What about on the Indian corporate front?
Oh, lots happening. It really illustrates that strategic repositioning we were talking about. TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, just leased 1.4 million square feet in Bengaluru. That's a massive space for 15 plus years.
Huge commitment to growth in a key tech hub.
Definitely. Then you've got Hindalco investing nearly 600 crore in Andhra Pradesh. They're setting up a facility for aluminium extrusion specifically for iPhone chassis.
Linking directly into that Apple global supply chain.
Precisely. Shows India deepening its role in high-value electronics manufacturing. Very significant. And beyond manufacturing, other interesting moves. Bajaj Allianz is promising direct payments if cashless hospitalization gets denied. That's tackling a major consumer pain point.
Good for customer trust.
Definitely. In FMCG, companies like Britannia are actually restoring the product weight, the grammage, in those small euro, 5 and euro packs. That's thanks to GST reforms. Could give a little boost to mass market consumption.
Small change, big potential impact.
Could be. And with the festive season coming up, e-commerce like Amazon and Flipkart, they're driving gig hiring to a 3-year high, creating maybe 500,000 jobs, focusing on inclusivity too. Big implications for employment.
500,000, wow.
Yeah, even fintech's active. Transbank, a banking infrastructure startup, raised $25 million. Shows continued investor interest there. And finally, IPOs. Classic Electrode's allotment finalized today subscribed 180 times.
180 times. Huge demand.
Massive appetite. And the OIO IPO buzz is back. Ritesh Agarwal apparently filed the DRHP for a $7-8 billion valuation, aiming for November.
Okay, quite a whirlwind on the corporate side. So if you connect all these dots,
Right.
what's the main message for listeners?
I think the central message is really one of strategic adaptability. You see robust domestic demand, targeted investments, like in manufacturing for iPhones. These things are helping offset some of the global headwinds, like the NVIDIA slowdown or those tariffs we discussed.
So pivoting internally while integrating selectively globally.
Exactly. India's strengthening its internal drivers, but also plugging into high-value global chains. But, the tech sector, especially around AI and chips, is clearly in this pivotal moment globally. Reevaluation time. It's forcing companies and whole countries really to rethink dependencies and future strategies.
And these market dynamics, they don't exist in isolation, do they? Let's broaden the view again. The world stage seems as busy as ever. Geopolitics keeps weaving through the economic headlines.
Absolutely. It's striking just how interconnected everything is. Take oil prices. They slipped yesterday, partly because the U.S. summer driving season is ending, so demand dips. But also investors weighing potential supply shifts linked to those U.S. tariffs on India buying Russian oil. See the connection.
Trade policy impacting global energy flows.
Right. Meanwhile, gold and silver surged. Silver hit a record high in Delhi, 1,020,000 plos per kilogram.
A record. Wow. Safe haven rush.
Big time. Investors flocking to safety amidst the tariff fallout, but also political uncertainty. Like President Trump's pressure on the Fed, that always rattles markets. If we connect this wider, the good news is diplomatic channels between India and the U.S. are still open on the tariff issue. That points towards de-escalation, hopefully.
Positive sign, yeah.
But it highlights that delicate balance of alliances. And globally, President Trump also did a bit of a policy reversal, now welcoming Chinese students, arguing U.S. colleges need them. This is despite proposing other tariffs, like on EU goods, shows how complex these things get.
Pragmatism versus policy sometimes.
Often. And on the harder geopolitical front, well, Russia rejected the idea of EU peacekeepers in Ukraine. They also downplayed chances of a meeting with President Zelensky. So no immediate peace deal seems likely there.
Situation still tense.
Very much so. And Iran stating that letting UN inspectors back doesn't mean full cooperation adds another layer of global security concern. These aren't just abstract headlines, you know? They hit supply chains, investment, even the cost of your commute via fuel prices.
It really is a world of ripple effects. But amidst all these complex currents, human ingenuity keeps pushing forward, doesn't it? Our final story today is a real testament to that. It takes us from markets right to the cutting edge of medical science. And this is where it gets truly remarkable, I think.
It really is. In a, quite frankly, groundbreaking achievement, Chinese researchers have successfully transplanted a genetically modified pig lung into a brain-dead human.
A pig lung into a human.
Yes. And it wasn't just transplanted, it functioned. For 9 days, it oxygenated the person's blood effectively. Eventually, immune responses caused it to fail, but 9 days of function is incredible.
9 days? That's astonishing.
Yeah.
Why is this such a huge deal, even though it ultimately failed?
Well, it's a massive step forward in xenotransplantation, using animal organs for humans. There's a critical, desperate shortage of human donor lungs globally. Thousands wait, many die waiting.
Right.
This experiment offers immense hope. The pig's genes were edited, you see, to make the organ more compatible to reduce that immediate rejection. Now, challenges definitely remain. Perfecting the gene editing, ensuring long-term function, navigating the very real ethical questions.
Sure, the ethics are complex.
Absolutely. But this moves it from theory towards, tangible proof of concept. Imagine a future where a modified pig organ could actually be a viable option for people on transplant lists.
It's almost science fiction becoming reality.
It really feels like it. A powerful testament to ingenuity, pushing medical boundaries, a glimpse into a possible future.
Amazing stuff. So from navigating tricky trade waters and volatile markets to witnessing that kind of scientific leap, it's clear the world just doesn't stand still, does it? I guess the message from today's deep dive is adaptability, strategic thinking, and innovation are vital everywhere. Economics, medicine, you name it. It leaves me wondering, though, as we look ahead, how will these short-term tariff battles really shape India's longer-term economic alliances and its role as a global power?
It's the key question, isn't it? Always remember, knowledge is most powerful when you understand it, apply it, and keep asking why. See beyond the headlines.
Keep asking why. Good advice. Thank you for joining us on the deep dive. We hope this essential update empowers you for the day ahead. And just a reminder, please note, this commentary is AI generated, and we recommend that you always re-verify the content before use.